Hi everyone, I'm back again today with another iCrafter video. We're going to look at creating a couple of small Easter baskets with the new die from iCrafter. I'm going to use these coordinating color pads from Memory Box. They also have a coordinating plaid that matches these, and I thought this would be perfect for Easter. So if you hadn't done it yet, make sure you hit that subscribe and like button, and let's get right into this video. The die that we're going to be using is this Easter basket die. So it basically makes a little box. You can add a handle onto this box if you want to, but I'm also going to use some of the Easter embellishments, which is this die set, to add to my little Easter baskets. So we'll get right into that. So first, I want to show you how to make this Easter basket. It is very easy. iCrafter tries to make their dies where it's pretty self-explanatory, but I always like to see something put together. So most of their dies are made so they fit on a 6x6 piece of paper. This one cuts it very close, but the cutting edge definitely fits inside that 6x6 area. I did have to look and make sure, but you may want to tape it down to make sure you've got it there. So here's what it cuts out. You can see a lot of different score lines. We're going to score all of these, and this is going to be half of the box. Before I start scoring these lines, I went on and cut out the second one, and then I'm going to show you. I'm folding where there are lines. I usually use a bone folder. This paper is a little bit more I guess I'd say brittle. So when I use a bone folder on this, it cracks the paper a little bit. So I'm going to show you how I fix that, but I like using bone folders when I'm making things like a box just because it gives me that nice fold. But I ended up deciding after doing the first one with the bone folder, you see those little cracks in it, that I would just do it with my hands and be as gentle as I could. So you'll see here I've got all these pieces together, and you can see how the box goes together. So this is half of the box. So I'm going to need some glue under that bottom tab, and I'm going to need some glue under this tab. So we'll put both of them together so you can kind of see. So see how it fits here? I'm going to glue the bottoms together, and I'm going to glue these little side tabs. I'll put an arrow in there so you can see. And the little places on here before I glue it together, I used BG11 because it's a very close match. It looks a little darker when I'm putting it on, but when it dries on this cardstock, it really takes away that white core right there. So you don't have to do that. It's not super noticeable, but I like to do that when I have some splitting of the cardstock. It just helps me want to use that piece and not waste it so that I don't see that. I just don't like seeing that little white. So this on the final, you will not even notice. So here is where I'm going to put glue on this tab. I like glue doing this because I can move things around. So this is going to make half of my box, and then we're going to use tabs and the bottom to connect the box. So I'm going to put some glue on this tab, and then I'm going to go ahead and fit it together on both of the tabs, and then I may go in and just add just a little bit of glue to the bottom part, but I wanted to get this set up before I had too much glue on my project. So now our box is made, and it's just time to decorate. I'm going to show you how I added on some of my Copic coloring, but I'm going to skip ahead because in this video I wanted to show you how to get the box together, and I wanted to show you some extra details I added to the coloring. So we're going to skip ahead and look at the coloring for both of these boxes. I highly suggest using this type of cardstock for Copic coloring. It just makes it so much easier, and you can find it at most stores. We'll start with our bunny, and I'm going to make this a chocolate bunny. So you could do this all kinds of ways, but I decided I'd make it a chocolate bunny. So I started with my first color, which is E12, and I always like to just kind of give a little bit of color to the middle and then go into the outside. So the way I'm going to make this is that the middle is lighter than everything else. I don't know if you can see the score lines up here, but there's going to be some little places to put a nose and cheeks and eyes, and I've got those little pieces, and I'm going to color those separately, so I don't really have to color everything in. So I just used hazelnut as my middle color, which is E23. And then now I'm going in with my darkest, which is called milk chocolate, and it's E27. So I'm going to shade this in, and then I'm going to add my little pieces that I've cut out from the die cut in different colors. I think I'm going to add pink. I feel like chocolate bunnies always have pink on their ears and some pink cheeks, so I'm going to add those little details. And like I said, those cut out with the die, so I've got them to glue on to this bunny. So here's this little ear, and I'm going to use RV10, R20, and I may go back and add a little bit of RV23 just to make this a more intense pink, but I'm going to do that for the ears and the tail. So here's how cute this little bunny looks. I love these little extra pieces. They just give it even more dimension. So there's our little chocolate bunny. Now I said I would tell you about this basket. So I'm going to show you how I made lines on the basket just with my Copic markers to give this a little more detail. So I started with E13 and just colored all of this in so that I've got a light wash of color laid down. And then we will go back and add some lines. So with the same E13, I went through and just added some straight lines kind of along here just to give it that little bit of a curve. Those are not very visible because of course it's the same color I've already colored in. So I decided I'd go back, and I had this plan the whole time to use a little bit darker color for my crosses. So I've got E23, which we also used on the bunny, and I'm just making diagonal lines as even as I can across the front, and then I'm going to go connect them and make X's across it. So that just made the easiest basket pattern that I could come up with, and I went and tried to make my lines as even as possible all across this. So just feel free with your die cuts, with your Copic markers. Remember, you can add details, and it really does. I mean, you can blend over it if you're not excited about it. You could add another color if you want to, but I feel like it just gives a little extra detail to what you're doing and really makes it look nice. I did go back and E23 over the whole basket. I decided I want it to be a little bit darker, but I'm letting some of that other ink sink in so that when I cover it up, it's going to be a little lighter version, but you can still see that through the color that I did. I wanted to show you how I attached these little guys. I used small pieces of acetate and some double-sided adhesive, and I used acetate because it's clear, and I'm gonna have stuff in my basket that's sticking up, so I didn't want these right on the edge attached to the back of the basket. I wanted them up a little bit higher so you could see them better. So just attached a little bit of double-sided adhesive to both ends of this, and then we're gonna attach it to the back of the basket. So you can see that you don't see the acetate, but it does make these little items stick up, which is really cute, and you can see them so great from the front. So I just wanted to show you that. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, and make sure that you click through the links below if you're going to go shopping today. Those do help give me a small commission at no cost to you, and I would love to see you on my channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe and like button, and I will see you soon. Bye!